Jonathan from JonPops Magic. I can't talk too loud because it's the middle of the night and I don't want to wake anybody, but I just couldn't sleep. And I think the reason I couldn't sleep is I have a confession. Magicians cheat. They do. And I feel like I should show you some of the ways that they cheat. But you have to be sure not to tell anybody, especially anybody from the Magicians Union, or I'll get in a lot of trouble. So, I'll show you. We have a random deck of cards, and we'll just pick out a card at random. It's a Jack of Clubs. Good. Good card. Put those down. Now, one of the ways that magicians cheat, and this is for the most experienced professional magicians, is they will have the cards marked. Now, there's two ways in which most professional magicians will have a card marked. The first is so subtle, you don't even know what happened. They have you sign the card. That's a marked card. So all they have to do is find your signature, and then they know what your card is. Now, there are some commercially available cards that are marked, usually on the back, either with some sort of code or even the number and the suit cleverly hidden. But this technique is for the most experienced magicians. And that's because they have to be so subtle when looking at the card to find the mark. You can't kind of stare at it, and I'd have to adjust my bifocals. So they have to look at it very quickly and inconspicuously, and that's very difficult to do when you've got a lot of people watching you. So the next way that magicians will cheat, and still used by the professionals, is they'll put what's known as a crimp in the card, okay? And a crimp is another word for a bend. So they'll put a little bend in the card like this. Let me get it all straight here. And yeah, and then you kind of cinch it down again. And that's a crimp, okay? And the crimp can either be felt or it can actually be seen if you're looking at the deck of cards, because it's doubled up, and the magician will be able to feel where that double up is and cut to it and find the card. Now again, these are for very experienced professional magicians. Your less experienced magicians will need what's known as a double crimp. And a double crimp is just like it sounds, kind of like a double bend. Let me show you how this is done. We'll put it this way, and then we'll unfold it here, and then we'll fold it this way. And really get these sides down. We got to get the crimp pressed down pretty good here. Okay, so now I will show you that the crimp can be felt, okay? Or if you look at it sideways, you can see that there's bends in the card, and it's very easy to find in the deck for an experienced magician. Now, there are amateur magicians, and these techniques may be too subtle for an amateur magician. So they'll use something different. They'll use what's known as a nick. And a nick can be a small tear in the card that can be felt or seen. Or if they're less experienced, they may need to use the half nick, or they may even need to use the full nick. And this card is much easier to find in a deck so that they can find your card. Then you have the beginner magicians. And the beginner magicians actually need what's known as a double nick. So the cards are very easy to find in the deck. The problem with this is that at the end of the trick, the magician must show that somehow the cards are back together, or they've gotten rid of the pieces. So I'm going to show you how that's done. We'll take these two pieces there and put those in my pocket. We'll need those later. And we'll take these two pieces and we'll put them together like so. And we got to press down and get them nice and even. And then we just kind of rub the two sides together, meld them together, and there. Now we've got half of the card put back together. Okay, you can start to see the signature down here. Now we'll go in and get another piece of card. Okay, and we'll put that up here, and we got to put this, attach this here, and we meld that in and press it real hard, and there. Now we've got 3/4 of the card put back together. Now we've got two edges. We've got this edge here. That's a problem, and the other one is this one, and we'll have to put two edges at the same time together with the final piece. And so that's done like this. There, now the card is back together in one piece. Both sides. And that's how they do it. Bingo!